When you turn on your radio, by the time your ear gets to hear your favourite song in glorious left and right stereo, you're mindlessly enjoying the end result of a huge journey that involves the tiniest of sounds and the hugest of egos. You see, musicians have to first work to capture these painstakingly honed individual sounds. Beats. Melodies. And only then can they attempt to mix them perfectly together to create the one community of stereo sound that modern humans call a song.
Oh, now how does that sound when you can't even chill in your own town?
I am Tay Nin from Electric Wire Hustle.
Kia ora, I'm Maratike, vocals and songwriting duties.
Wellington's Electric Wire Hustle achieved cult status back in 2009 with the release of their debut self-titled album, and since then have been hailed as innovators in their mashup of R&B, soul, jazz, hip-hop and electronica. How do you guys write songs?
We share ideas in various states of finish. I mean, it could just be a drum loop. Whenever we share ideas, they're kind of open for the other person's interpretation and addition and ideas. You know, that's where the collaboration comes together.
And if there's a consensus, obviously there's a little bit of power of veto with whoever the vocalist is, because they have to kind of take a track home and try things out and see if things work or not. So
how many vocalists are there?
Just me.
Right, so
me.
when it says the vocalist gets to veto, that's you that gets to veto.
Yeah.
I was just checking. No, that's good. That's good.
See how I removed myself?
I see what you were trying to do there. I was just checking. Released 2015, Eons is a 5-track EP which signals where the next chapters of Electric Wire Hustle's sound is heading. And Golden Ladder is the lead track off that release.
It was the first sort of narrative-based song where the lyrics tell a story. It's about a girl named Truth, and she's on the run from government operatives. She's on a mission to speak to God, and he eventually leads down this golden ladder, which she ascends and has a conversation with him. That's pretty much what it's about.
But what is it about Golden Ladder that's pushed Electric Wire Hustle once again into bold new territory? How did they make sounds like these? And this one.
Climb up to you.
And what happens when your lead singer prefers to spend his money on nice clothes rather than nice microphones? Seriously. To get the answers to our questions, we gave Mara TK and Tay Nin from Electric Wire Hustle a large pot of tea and got them around a mixing desk to show us the anatomy of Golden Ladder and what it is that makes this song so special. What would you like to start with?
The drums. If we think back to the original loop, it's pretty much those layered 808s, and then there is a reversed sample which kind of forms the main repeating sort of pattern. Yeah.
Is this a sample you're allowed to tell me where you got it from, or is this one of these ones I should just don't ask, don't tell?
Maybe it's a little don't ask, don't tell.
Explain to people why 808 is such an important sound and what's sort of going on with it.
An 808, I mean, when you're saying it just generally, it's actually a reference to a drum machine that Roland made. The 808 is at the heart of the birth of hip-hop, of dance music, of electronic music, man, you know, like just the whole way through. Next element that's kind of overlaid on the kick, it's kind of like a descending, almost like a waterfall type sound from the toms. Yeah, it's just layered kicks and toms. But I don't know, there's something, I mean, it's so classic, it's so unique. I mean, you can't really argue with an 808.
You could check out some of those more, those live percussion elements.
So you have both electronic, like 808 elements, and organic elements in the drums too, yeah.
This track is really a full combination of those. You've got like a wooden flute, you've got harp, you've got shaker, you've got triangle, you've got a tabla sample.
Glockenspiel,
yeah.
Do you want to have a look at the bass moog? What's your take on the moog?
It's like the 808, man. Just, you gotta have one. When we started recording the second album, we had gone out and purchased for the band a couple of new toys, and one of them was this, which is a Little Fatty, which is a re-released Moog synthesizer. Little Fatty, I guess, because it's small in stature, but just massive in sound.
It melts people.
Yeah. It's stabilizing that whole bottom end, you know. It's establishing the shape of the groove, really.
And also, kind of going in tandem with that is this. So this is the Rhodes.
You could potentially just get away with using the Rhodes as the bass, full stop. I mean, the Rhodes was originally created as a bass instrument and then extended upon, to become a full keyboard. Bam!
There's some gain in there.
Some twang. Well, we gain everything up.
What we're saying is that for you guys, where you guys come from, you turn it up and you make it incredibly hot, which means it sounds like the sound desk is on fire, and that's what you want to happen.
But there's something, like you identified it. I'm thinking, Spanky, but you responded to it. Deep down, you responded to that hotness in the Rhodes, and you thought, there's some je ne sais quoi about that particular sound. And we've realised that early on, and there have been times where we've hotted things to the max to record them, and then almost blown our minds, literally.
Yeah, it's not without an element of danger. I've almost killed us in a recording session, like quite literally almost boiled us alive with a delay pedal and an amp.
But we lived, and it was worth it.
Speaking of things being hot,
tell me.
The main vocals, they sound pretty hot to me.
She skipped town with the loot in a Chevy Impala coupe.
Feels like you're intentionally making it break up, which isn't the usual approach when doing a vocal track.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've kind of spent all my money on other stuff other than like studio gear. I spend that shit on clothes and all kinds of shit, and so it's always a different setup, man. It's always a different setup.
Keeps it fresh.
Well, bro, I tried to give you an artistic way out just then. I tried to claim that the sound you were doing was something intentional, but you've just basically undermined me in this. So you're telling me you've got some cheap microphone from Dick Smith with an on-off switch. Is that what you're saying, or what?
Hey.
Well, yeah, somewhere between that and actually, being professional about it.
Is this your anarchistic tendencies coming out?
Oh, it's just the process, man. I mean, yeah, some of us like to spend money on jackets.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, next time people see a promo shot of Electric Wire Hustle, they'll really be looking at your clothes saying he better look sharp.
We always look sharp, Spanky. Come on, man.
Can I live? Can I live? Can I afford to give? I got the baby and shit is getting wavy.
In terms of your vocal style and vocal approach, is that how you've always sounded? Is that what happened? You opened your mouth and that's how you sounded?
No way. It's something that I've worked towards and still working towards, trying to get to a point where you don't have to labour over it so much,
When you can't even chill in your own town.
I think my style is to have enough character in it so that you don't really worry about whether he's hitting every note he should have. It's a bit like Nina Simone, where you can't really categorize some of the notes she sings. The same with Hendrix, you're not sure which note that was, it's more of a drawl, but for some reason it works, even though it kind of slides around.
The heat from a nickel-plated piece, but truth is never scared, 'cause she will break bread with the man upstairs. If he could.
What I love about you guys is you're like, hey, we got a harp. Let's also have a flute.
Who plays this flute?
Oh, Adam Page.
Oh, true that.
What's the flute up to here? Sounds like a bird fluttering around. Sounds like a fantail.
Yeah, man.
It's a wooden flute.
So this is Adam. He's just finding something, and that's the part that works, you know.
So did you say, Adam, we need a wooden flute, or did he say, guess what I've got in my bag?
Man, he just bought his whole toolkit.
So he's got this whole sort of kit set and each one does a different particular task.
Yeah. He's a specialist, man.
Do you want to talk around the harp? Because, I mean, that's not a common instrument, is it? Like, if you were thinking what's leading the way, you don't meet many bands out there that lead on the harp.
No, I mean, we're really lucky to have an incredible local harpist called Natalia Mann. Yeah, I mean, we're listening to and also sampling a lot of Dorothy Ashby at the time, who is, you know, one of the preeminent harpists of, you know, contemporary sort of music, really.
70s jazz era?
Yeah, 60s, 70s.
If I was faced with someone on a harp, I just wouldn't know what to tell them to do.
She's super cool. Her musical palette is really broad. She plays all manner of different styles and genres of music. She's also very comfortable in the studio as well.
What does the harp do? What were you hoping it would do? That's such a key aspect of the track.
I think the one thing about the track is it's definitely quite bass focused. You know, there's a lot in the lower end in terms of frequency wise. The harp just added all those different frequencies and all the sonic colour in the upper end and just brought it to life, basically.
Yeah, the harp's kind of the latter, isn't it?
Well put. I feel like you guys are so courageous to have just backed the harp so hard. Well, I mean, I don't know. For me, it was an unknown category, and you guys just said we're going harp on the lead, and
man, it was nowhere remotely conscious in terms of it. It's just like we're both just like, yo, harp, let's do that, man. Come on.
It sort of feels like she's shredding. Do you know what I mean? The only thing that would have made that harp a little bit better would be if you'd turn the gain up just a bit. Don't you think it's just a bit hotter? I reckon.
It's good. It's been gained. It's got some gain in it.
Perfect. Yeah. It's perfect the way it is. I love it. So, after spending all this time creating and capturing these individual bits, what do Electric Wire Hustle think they've achieved when all these parts work together?
Like I said, it was the first track where I kind of got a narrative together, a song that was a story. I guess it's kind of a marker for me anyway, a marker for the kind of start of bringing storytelling into our music.
It's also almost like a hint of what's to come, you know, where we're going to next.
When someone listens to it for the first time, how do you hope they'll feel?
I guess what we're generally going for with the next record is just to take people to an otherworldly place, or that it sort of creates its own kind of world where you feel like you've been transported, somewhere else.
And a big thanks to Electric Wire Hustle. Anatomy of a Song is a radio adventure crafted by RDU, funded by New Zealand On Air, and produced by Rachel Morton, Jonny Pipe, and me, Spanky Moore. Thank you for listening.